Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of RHOX Garage. I'm your host, Dan, and on today's episode, we're going to be installing part number ACC-0058, which is our 12-volt outlet. We're going to show you how to do that both with the Deluxe harness and without the Deluxe harness. Now, before we get started, let's take a look at what comes in the kit and the tools that we're going to need to perform our installation. When you open up your kit, you're going to find your 12-volt outlet itself. It has a cover on it. And then on the back, you are going to find the two posts. The positive is in the middle, and the negative is on the outside. And then you're also going to have a set of mounting screws. Now, depending on the cart that you're going to be installing this on, your installation could be a little bit different and require some different tools, but the main tools that you're going to need are a cordless drill, a 1 1/8 inch spade bit, a Phillips head bit, some type of panel remover tool, as well as some safety glasses because we are using power tools. Before we get started with the installation process, we want to make sure that we turn our cart off, set our parking brake, and if we have an electric cart, we're going to flip that tow run switch to the tow position. Once that's done, depending on which cart we have, we can go ahead and either disconnect our battery pack or disconnect the battery from a gas cart. Once that's done, we can go ahead and find our location where we want to mount our 12-volt outlet. Now at this point, it's really up to you where you want to mount it. I like to mount it inside the glove boxes if I'm still using a stock dash, and that way I can drill the hole in the side and then mount the outlet there. And that lets me store my phone or whatever mobile device I am charging inside the glove compartment as well. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and start to make your electrical connections, and I'm going to show you that first on our Deluxe harness. So here on the table, I have a Deluxe harness for a Yamaha drive tube. Now this harness might not be the exact same as the one that you have, but they are all pretty similar, so we can kind of talk about it in that way. So on pretty much every harness, relatively close to your push-pull switch, you're going to find your 12-volt outlets. You're going to have a positive and a negative terminal. So in order to connect these, we're going to take the positive connection and plug it into the spade on the outlet that is in the middle, and it's also marked with a plus sign. And then the negative is, of course, going to go to the negative terminal on the outlet. And once you've done that, that will then put power into your outlet. Now remember, this is a 12-volt outlet, so if you run more than 12 volts to it, you risk damaging any mobile devices that you are charging. So if you have a cart that does not have 12-volt batteries, you're definitely going to want to put a voltage reducer in line in the system to avoid burning out any of your electronics. So like I mentioned before, we can install this without a Deluxe harness on a cart. All we're going to need is a wiring kit, and we definitely want to put some kind of inline fuse into the system so that we don't blow out any of our electronics. Now, if we were installing this on a gas cart, that would probably be the most ideal way to install this without the harness. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a positive and a negative directly off the battery. Remember, we want to make sure that we put a fuse in line so that we don't blow out any of our electronics, and then we can go ahead and connect it the exact same way that I just showed you previously on the harness. Now, if we were using an electric cart that did not have 12-volt batteries, again, we are going to want to use a voltage reducer to get that voltage down to 12 volts. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and do the exact same thing that I mentioned before with the gas cart and put a fuse in line to the positive terminal, and then we can go ahead and connect the negative the exact same way we did on the harness. And now if you need one of those wiring kits, LGT-791 or LGT-792 will work just fine. Once you've made all of your necessary connections inside your harness or whatever wiring kit you are using, you can go ahead and reconnect your battery or your battery pack. Once you've done that, that'll complete the installation for part number ACC-0058. Thanks for watching this episode of RHOX Garage, and I'll see you guys next time.